are in Puerto Rico, in a town called San Sebastián, in this beautiful waterfall, which is called Gozalandia. Whoa! Can you do that? Show us. This is how I grew up, you know, like the outdoors. You're gonna meet the rest of my tribe, my crazy little tribe. You're gonna see where I grew up, how I grew up, and just chilled. So I'm Joan Smalls, and this is my home. I remember when I came to New York, everybody would always say, oh my God, the skyline is so beautiful, it's so beautiful. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, how do you find beauty in, you know, glass? No, I'm never gonna get used to this cold. So there's this thing in Puerto Rico that we call, it's kind of like a hillbilly, but we say jíbaro and jíbara. So I can't wait to get back to that jíbara state, which is just country. Today I'm so excited because I get to see my girl Damaris, and she's probably one of the few people who actually met me towards the beginning of my career. We were at the same agency, and I actually remember seeing her pictures and being like, oh my God, who is this? I wanted to be that, you know, I wanted that opportunity. It was never handed to me. Like, I discovered myself. A lot of girls, sometimes you hear their stories, they're like, an agent saw me and gave me the card and I just got the golden ticket. And that was never my scenario. You know, coming into New York City and going agency to agency and knocking on their doors, being like, hey, you wanna represent me? Sometimes you question, what is the right move to do? Because it's not like there's a blueprint. If you do X, Y, and Z, you're gonna get this result. Thank you. Hola, chica.
When we started modeling, there was
Do you remember?
Oh, I remember.
You started a baby.
I was 15 when I started. We were 15 by ourselves in Paris, in models' apartments. Well, the reason I speak Spanish is because I stayed in a model's apartment with a model from Spain.
Was it because of me?
No. You know, a lot of the kids nowadays are looking at us. We don't post our pimples. We don't post
the days that we have cramps.
on your period.
When you're super moody.
When you haven't shaved in a month because you haven't had work. We're selling confidence when we actually have the lowest self-esteem. If a month goes by and I don't have work, I'm like, oh my God, the sky is falling, my career is over, I'm done.
Nobody likes me.
And it's like, actually, no, we're amazing women. You're headed home to Puerto Rico.
I'm so excited. I always see Puerto Rico as this island that's just resilient. You take pride in who you are and what you have, and you need to protect it. So for me, going back home is just like reminding myself of that. And it's like a different world, so I'm just like excited to go back home. I didn't know that the message was so much greater than me booking a job after a job. That what I was doing was creating a way for others. Becoming the first African Latina model to represent Estee Lauder. I didn't know that that existed, but I did it, and I was like, oh my God, I have a double whammy. You know, I'm not just Black and I'm not just Latina. The household I lived in is multicultural. And then coming to America saying, you are the light-skinned Black girl. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm Spanish too. And people are like, huh? So this is my parents' farm where I grew up. Karma! Carmen! Carmen! Hey, mama! Sit! ¿Quién vaya, mami? Gorda! Glad to see you. Hello, hi. This is the woman who birthed me. Like, it's so quiet, and you can hear the neighbors. And you can hear a horse. That's not even here. It's like everything's like an echo. Want to see my mom's chickens? Ay, pero no pesan, mami. Are you afraid of chickens? I was at one point. One of them, remember the one that was really black with the long, long hair and it was really beautiful and he was like the spawn of the Satan and it would attack me? These guys used to be running around freely. We didn't have a cage, but then because they're chickens, they're everywhere. So it's better to have them. Do you want to tell them why you named me Joan, Mommy?
Joan of Arc.
Arc. She always says, remember, Joan, you're a star. And I'm like, and you're my moon, Mommy. Remember cuando Mami nos cortó la pollina? So obviously we have curly hair. We wanted bangs, so she cut our hair when it was wet here. That rose up to up here, and it looked like a little Brillo pad. And then we got made fun of in school by little... Yeah, remember that?
What I think of her being a model.
The real thing that you said, Donnie. I would say it, but it's not nice.
People at that time used to think bad about models. And they used to think that in order to be a model, you have to prostitute yourself. Okay? And I didn't want my daughter to get into that kind of world. Finish your college degree. So this way I know you have a sound mind to protect yourself. So she said, Daddy, now that I have achieved what you wanted, would you allow me to go?
I didn't say allow me to go. I said, Daddy, I'm going.
Sure, okay, well.
And I know how much my parents sacrificed. We were living in a one-bedroom apartment in 2 beds. And I remember Mommy and Daddy, they were sleeping on the floor, all 3 of us in one room. For me, that's always my push. You know, like, they had it worse. That's one thing I always keep to myself. And now all of you guys know, and like...
Joan, keep your head up straight. And when you walk, walk with pride. They don't want to see you doing this. That's stupidness. Because what you're doing, you're taking their eyes off of buying the product you have on and looking at how you're twisting your behind. Walk with respect and give the person respect. Once you get that, the person see that you honor their clothes. And that's what modeling is all about.
I just always remember wanting that opportunity. I knew within myself that I needed this one thing. I don't know what it was going to be, if it was going to shoot with a photographer, an important show, if it was going to, like, I didn't know what my break was going to be, but I just knew I needed that one chance. I moved to New York. I started modeling, and I started booking like commercial work, but isn't like high fashion, so you're seen in a different light. So I was blessed to have had that opportunity, but I wanted more going to New York City. I basically got an exclusive for couture with Riccardo Tisci when he was the designer at Givenchy. He bleached my eyebrows. I looked more androgynous. People saw me in a different light. I knew that was it. Like, I felt it in my soul, in my being. And I remember when they told me, Joan, you got confirmed, don't go anywhere else. I just got chills all over my body because I knew that was the moment. Y que mami fue a la biblioteca y le dijo que si tú no dejas a mi hija entrar, que yo te voy a demandar, y que todos los padres estaban como que, y después alguien salió y me gritó, mira que tu mamá está ahí abajo con el principal discutiéndole, and I was like, yeah, that's my mom is. This person I've known since the 2nd grade. She is my best friend. She's basically a sister.
Twins.
Isa.
Younger Joan is exactly this Joan. I see her and I don't see supermodel. I see my friend. I remember her being my same tall,
The same height.
And then one summer, she's like, guys, I think I grew. Oh no, you grew. And you grew really tall.
And skinny and awkward.
And she was bumping with everything.
I wanted to make sure like I still fit in, so I would always like have a hunchback. out of all the people in school, like especially like a country school, she was the only one who spoke English. So it's
They
like
call it gringas.
we were called
Gringa.
gringas just because we spoke English. We're like, no, we're Puerto Rican. Like she always had like more of an open mind, and that's why our relationship like matured and grew.
But we were also
very mischievous together.
exactly like
And we wouldn't get caught, which was the genius part of it.
because we were smart.
Because we were smart students. How could we possibly do it? Us, a straight A student? Psh. You know what? Es one thing que yo siempre digo, que el sentido del humor yo lo aprendí en la escuela.
Claro.
Like, eso fue lo que me ayudó en el trabajo, porque la gente siempre te está criticando, o es como tú, qué es lo que tú eres, o te ven como algo. And it was like, ugh, I've heard it all. Vente, gorda. You want to show them tricks, Carmi? Yeah. Stay. Stay. Eat it. Yay, good girl. Everybody, this is my big baby, Karma. Because Karma's a get it? So this is basically her domain. All this balcony. So all the rooms face that view. So every time we grew up, we would open up the curtains and just look out there. That's called La Cordillera Central de Puerto Rico. And it usually protects from the hurricanes. So mountains break up hurricanes, and that's what they do. The scary thing is, like, you know, growing up in Puerto Rico, you're accustomed of hurricanes, right? You have hurricane season. It's just you never know what year it's going to be that's going to take it to that place, you know? I remember I was working in Milan during show season. I'm a pretty strong person and I can control my emotions, but I remember just being at the hotel room, like, breaking down seeing those images, you know? I really can't be here. I cannot do this right now. I cannot go backstage and someone asks me, have you heard about your family? And it's like, to hear somebody complain about their shoe that doesn't fit. Like, I'm dealing with my family stuck in an island with no communication, don't know if they're okay. People don't have light, don't have water, don't have homes. Like, that's the last thing I want to hear about is somebody's shoe not fitting. I left and I canceled the show. When you can't communicate with your family for more than 10 days, trust me, you know pain. It's just so important to always take a pause. What am I doing it for, you know? Putting myself in that space of why I left Puerto Rico, that reignites my passion. Hi Vogue, I'm Joan Smalls, and to watch more, subscribe here.